Do you guys remember when Hulk was a freaking beast?
Fatality.
I barely do because it's been 17 years. For those who were babies when this movie came out or didn't even exist yet, there's just something about the Incredible Hulk. It's got a different energy compared to everything. That raw intensity, the sense of danger, the isolation. This movie has been kinda buried under the weight of the MCU, but I watched it way too many times and wow, it's just one of those.
Nice.
We didn't see anything like it again. Oh yeah, also... say no more. This isn't some big epic story. This is a guy who had a life but was forced into exile. And it's so good because of how real it feels. Bruce is constantly on edge, adapting his life to avoid an incident, while dealing with serious PTSD. The loneliness, the paranoia, that's all there. The movie takes its time to show this. He cuts himself fixing this and kills Stan, god damn. But he's honestly terrified of it, to the point that he hesitates to intervene to save her. Wow, how bad can it be for him to almost pass on this chance? Could it be that heroism isn't addressed in the way we are used to? Unlike other characters, Bruce doesn't want to use his power for good because he doesn't want it at all. He's not interested in controlling it, he wants it gone. The movie holds a true authenticity that is nowhere to be seen nowadays, an honesty that draws me back over and over again. It was more focused on showing the struggle of a man than shocking you with the humor for a 10-year-old and oh god. That's because this movie was made before Marvel came up with the MCU formula. I'm not saying that this is a masterclass in writing, but it works because it doesn't really try too hard. The dialogue is simple, straight to the point, and get this, there are actual moments of silence. No forced quips. Wild. This was a movie that took itself seriously. Wait, who produced it? What the f? You could tell me this wasn't made by Marvel and it wouldn't sound half crazy. It's not about overloading us with world-ending battles and 10 different characters. It's about presenting a solid story, normal people, good effects, and they did a great job with this, especially conveying what Bruce is going through. Let's compare to Iron Man. Tony gets captured and turns the situation around, builds a suit, escapes, and upgrades his tech to become a hero. He's vulnerable at times, but he's mostly in control. This guy, complete opposite. His problem is a ticking time bomb. There's no cool solution, no upside. He transforms, people die. If he gets caught, he's a prisoner for life and his blood becomes a weapon. His only goal is to get rid of the Hulk before it ruins his life even more. And the movie makes you feel that. He's completely alone, driven only by hope. No fancy labs, no mystical teachers to help him control it. One minute he's watching Sesame Street and the next he's homeless. It's just him, trying to make it through one more day. Maybe the next attempt at finding a cure will work. What I love is the film itself doesn't want the Hulk to come out. In later movies, he's just another superhero. Here, the Hulk is terrifying, and the way that they reveal it is perfect. The first transformation is masterfully done. They don't just throw the Hulk in your face right away. They tease it, shadows, movement, glimpses of destruction. And when you do see him, wow. It makes every action hit harder because they build it up with anticipation. That's the thing. Good directors include the audience in the journey. They make deliberate choices to make you feel something. This movie is full of those choices. We can barely keep up with the chase as the camera struggles to follow. The heart monitor beeps. That's bad, but he can't stop. Better take this somewhere with no one around. The factory. This is where you see the kind of filmmaking that's missing today in Marvel. That was a real factory set to be demolished and they turned it into this amazing set piece. The steam gushes out, steps echo in pitch black. Twisted angles block your sight. Was that him or a shadow? They weren't just shooting on a green screen and fixing it in post, but went to real locations to make the scenes look alive. And on that same note, I don't have to say it, but let's talk about Hulk's appearance, because this is the best version of Hulk we ever got to see. The detail, the weight, it's unmatched. You can see the muscle fibers, the veins, the sheer power behind the punches. It's easy to believe he can do this. Compare that to this and you can see the problem. What makes this version of Hulk work so well is that he doesn't look like a big green Bruce Banner. He looks like something else completely. This keeps the whole other guy concept intact. Even though I always wanted to see Bruce in control of his powers, I love how raw and unstoppable he is. Even in all that rage, there's something human about him though. In that moment with Betty in the cave, you feel the confusion, the vulnerability. He doesn't fully understand what's happening, but he knows she's not a threat. That kind of nuance is what makes this movie stand out. Even though Hulk is one of the most powerful beings in the MCU, we can see that he's exhausted from always running, chased around like an animal just to be locked up. It is hard to know what's really Bruce and what's Hulk when he's transformed, but I think this movie mixes both of them a little, and their personalities shift depending on the situation. The climax in the battle against Abomination is a good example of that. I'm pretty sure that Hulk would have ended Abomination, but Betty's voice immediately reaches Bruce's compassion, and we see the expression change quickly. There's duality to the character that makes him much more complex than the MCU ever explored. Okay, enough about him. What about the other? The only thing that annoys me about this movie is how every scene with Betty is mostly her just looking like this, which is kinda goofy after a while, but I don't know how else to react with this in front of you. I guess... Okay, no, that's too much. But this woman is low-key the best. She hasn't seen Bruce in like 5 years, and the moment he shows up, she's moved on from her boyfriend, completely devoted to helping Bruce. I kinda feel sorry for this guy. She cares though, of course she does. They love each other, but there's no need to say it. It's pretty cheesy, very 2000s. I can't complain. You still hope for a happy ending because we are wired for them. But no, if you take a step back, you realize that Bruce Banner's story is heartbreaking. They won't be together. They can't live under the same roof. Even if Bruce is cured, her father is a fucking maniac. General Ross is buried under a pile of bad decisions. You know that's gonna chase him for the rest of his life. No amount of patriotic BS can save you from destroying the only relationship that ever mattered out of ego. I find hilarious how Ross gets full permission to keep on wasting millions chasing around a guy who's proven to be literally bulletproof over and over again. No one bothers to tell him, hey, you gotta stop that because you're obviously involved in this personally, so... No, he even injects the bad guy with super serum to make him into a super bad guy. And this dude gets to be the president of the... Out of all the villains Marvel has adapted for the big screen, I think Blonsky is the most entertaining to watch, because Tim Roth has the perfect voice and delivery for the role, but also just look at this man run. He really wants to fight a guy quadruple his size. He's a fucking menace. He represents everything Bruce isn't. Look up the definition of power hungry and you get his face. Is he a complex character? No, but I don't care. He's taunting the freaking Hulk. I mean, he's already more interesting than half of these guys. Let me see him fight Thanos. I'm sure that he would do a better job than Hulk ever did. Stain, on the other hand, is there. He's the crazy scientist type and only became relevant now, but he's passionate about Bruce's mutation to the point that he comes off as insensitive. Characters in this movie all have their own motives, just like we do. Stein wants to change the course of science, Ross wants to weaponize it, Blonsky wants power, Betty wants to be with Bruce, and Bruce, he wants to stop running. That's it. I wanted to shed some light on this movie because they really don't make them like this anymore. So if you watch She-Hulk and wonder why your life feels empty, go watch this movie because the Incredible Hulk still holds up. It's still the best Hulk we ever got. As always, if you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more of these. I truly appreciate it. See you guys on the next one.